Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. Today is 24th January 2024. My name is TSV Raghavan and I live in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. This is my spiritual vlog on YouTube. Hardan, 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 Haribol, TSV, Nectar, NECTAR, Nectar. In this particular vlog, in all my previous videos, we have been trying to discuss about the knowledge and information that we have gleaned through the study of spiritual books, scriptures, contemplation on the material universe, and meditation on the spiritual universe. This particular video in this vlog is no exception to that rule. In fact, it is a mere continuation of all that we have been trying to do in all of my previous videos. Kindly subscribe to this vlog and press the bell icon so that I may keep reminding you of all my past, present, and future videos. So let us continue with the topic of discussion for today's video. For the past few videos, we have been trying to study, discuss, and analyze one particular instrument in the psyche and body of every human living entity called mind, which is the main and driving instrument for that particular human living entity during a particular lifetime in this material world, regardless of the fact whether that human living entity is a male or a female. In that process, we discussed several case histories to authenticate our own views, thoughts, ideas, opinions, and observations regarding why and how the mind of any individual living entity, whether male or female, works in a particular way during a lifetime in this material world. In that process, we are trying to delve deep into the life of one gentleman called Henry Sherrier, who is today a legend, an international legend, and a French author who wrote two autobiographical books, one called Papillon and the other called Banco. After studying these two books thoroughly, we are trying to discuss and understand why his mind went in a particular direction while he belonged to a very different surrounding and atmosphere. We came to the conclusion that it has something to do with the layer of foundation for his this particular lifetime. This foundation is known as prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma is a slice of the storage of unworked karma of any human living entity, whether male or female, which is consisting of all those karmas of this particular human living entities past several births. A slice from this Sanchit karma is known as prarabdha karma, and the birth and lifetime of that particular human living entity in a particular lifetime depends on the foundation laid down by that very slice called prarabdha karma. Directly or indirectly, knowingly or unknowingly, advertently or inadvertently, deliberately or otherwise, the same human living entity uses his or her free will to do all those karmas which are known as Kriyaman karma in a particular lifetime. And these are based directly or indirectly on that foundation called prarabdha karma. And how we have been trying to discuss this in this particular case history. Yesterday we came to the level where the same Henry Sherrier gravitated to Paris after a frustrated mind which was frustrated because of a particular news from the lawmen of France of his time. It told him that because of his own past in the legal society, he was incapable of getting any government job. This made this Henry Sherrier gravitate from his home province of Ardèche in France to Paris, the capital of France. Now, here we will try to understand how his mind worked. Yes, it is a fact that he was frustrated because of such a damning news at such an early age. This closed several doors for this guy's future in that particular country. But one will appreciate that all was not lost for this guy. If one door closed, several doors opened simultaneously for every human living entity, whether male or female. At that time, France was a colonial power which had several other countries in this world under its own command. If only Henri Charrier, who was a French citizen, wanted, he could have gone to any of those countries and become successful in some chosen legal and official work for his own life. Or else, if he did not want to do any such job or occupation, he could have settled down in Paris or his own hometown as a qualified electrician and artisan and started his own practice as a practicing electrician to eke out a reasonable, respectable living. But as per his own prarabdha karma, this Henry Charrier's destiny willed otherwise. This could have been due to some unworked past karma that made this slice of prarabdha karma make this living entity use his own free will and kriyamana karma in an illegal direction. Henry Charrier, instead of going into the straight line to become a respectable citizen, chose to enter the underworld. Underworld is a part of the dark negative forces of this material world. When Henry Charrier tried to enter the Parisian underworld, he was face to face with a very new kind of society. Soon enough, Henry Charrier, despite his good looks, physical strength, youth, courage, etc., lacked the cunning, the selfishness, and the lack of remorse that are needed to make one successful professional gangster or criminal. Though Henry Charrier did not understand it then, the policemen, the experienced lawmen of Paris could soon realize this fact and they decided to make complete political mileage out of Henry Sherrier's potpourri of plus and minus points in the Parisian underworld. They were quick to find out that this Henry Sherrier at best belonged to the twilight zone or the fringe of the underworld. Fringe means a person who is actually a part of the 75% category of a multitude of this society, which comprises of decent, law abiding citizens, but who tries to become a part of the 20% category of a multitude who want to become genuine gangsters. Because by then he had been forgotten by this society of 75% and forsaken by that 20% category of gangsters and criminals. This guy was up for grabs for the Parisian police force. It managed to put the fear of God into the same Henry Sherrier and told him in no uncertain words that if this guy wanted to survive and succeed, he had no other alternative but to become a genuine police informer against those gangsters and criminals who were actual parts of the Parisian underworld. Here again, we try to peep into the psyche of this Henry Sherrier, who later on became known in the underworld with his nickname as Papillon. Henceforth, we will start talking about Papillon. This Papillon, who was hardly in his early 20s, would have been left high and dry and visibly irritated and frustrated just because of his own psyche. This guy was in a catch 22 situation. He did not belong to the genuine 20% category and he did not want to belong to the 75% category, as a result of which he was forced to become a police informer. This guy had an uncanny ability of soaking up information, memorizing it, and helping or tipping off the same Parisian police force. This was a gift that was a born gift for Papillon alias Henry Sherrier. This is possible because he was born into a family of very decent, intellectually inclined mother and father who were both teachers. Probably their intellectual faculties rubbed on Henry Sharir alias Papillon's genes. But this guy's prarabdha karma and destiny willed otherwise. Probably this was because of some past de- negative act or mischief that he was party to. His unworked prarabdha karma had to be worked out in this particular lifetime. It was only because of that his free will kriyamana karma forced him to become a police informer in the same Parisian underworld which he wanted to or earnestly wished to become a part of. However, he did not succeed even here. The society had already rejected him, and all possibilities of a decent government job were impossible for Papillon. But he was also rejected knowingly or unknowingly by the Parisian underworld, which had more greedy, selfish, unscrupulous, cunning, and cold blooded members in its fold. This Papillon, because of his God's gift of memorizing all information, soon became the Parisian police star informer. This had its repercussions, and that is what probably his prarabdha karma wanted. If it had not wanted it that way, this guy could have lived in the same France incognito as a police informer or could have gone to some foreign country under the French rule to help the government as a genuine informer. However, thanks to one guy called Roland Legrand, this actual face of Henry Sharir was exposed to the society. Roland Legrand soon found out that this very Henry Sharir, alias Papillon, was a genuine police informer. This irritated and intrigued Roland Legrand no end. He began spreading rumors about the actual identity of the same Henry Sharir. Here we will take another detour. This indiscreet interloping by a person called Roland Legrand both scared and irritated and angered Henry Sharir no end. He was extremely unhappy that this Roland Legrand was spreading such rumors about him in the Parisian underworld. This was again probably prarabdha karma and destiny. It had something else in store for Papillon. Hence, it forced him to use his own free will and Kriyamana karma to shoot the same Roland Legrand in his belly once to warn that guy against squealing against Perry Sharia. Here we are informed that because this guy was not a criminal, he had this myopic short sight of going personally and shooting Roland Legrand in his belly just once because he probably felt that this guy would at best be cured of his habit of becoming a squealer, and henceforth he, Roland Legrand, will straighten up. However, this also shows that the same Henry Sherrier was no murderer. He did not want Roland Legrand to die. However, the bullet that he fired at Roland Legrand went into his stomach and tore his intestines in such a way that when this Roland Legrand was in his deathbed, he was sane enough or conscious enough to point his fingers at the same Henry Sherrier who Roland Legrand knew as Papillon Roger, saying that it was this Papillon Roger who had shot him in his belly. This promptly baffled this police of Paris, which was very unhappy that its star police informer had committed such a stupid and silly crime. But the deed was done. So, to stitch up all the torn parts, this police arrested the same Henry Sherrier, had him convicted of the murder which happened when Roland Legrand ultimately died of that gunshot wound, and had him transported to the penal settlement of Paris to become the same star informer for them in that penal settlement. This shows how the karma and the mind of any person or human living entity works in any lifetime. As mentioned, there is one prarabdha karma which not only works on the destiny in that lifetime for that living entity, but it also guides him or her to use his or her free will to commit some deed which will be as per his or her destiny in that particular lifetime. This is how the life works in the case of every human living entity, whether male or female. Thus, the past karma, along with the present new karma, decide the destiny or fate of every human living entity. This is all I wanted to talk about in this particular case history. Kindly let me know what you think of my talk on this particular subject. Please give me your own expert views, thoughts, ideas, and opinions so that I may blend everything together for the sake of this society. Before concluding, let me remind you that I am also a published author with Amazon Kindle and paperback. I write on spiritualism, fiction, and assorted subjects. Spiritualism happens to be my favorite subject. Till we meet in my next video, it is good morning from TSV Raghavan.